ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wrestling Lounge. I am your host, Brian, joined by my co-host this time, Jason.
How's everybody doing out there? And how are you, Brian?
I'm doing good. But without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from General Hospital, Sonya Eddy, known to everybody as Nurse Epiphany Johnson.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good afternoon, y'all out there, right?
Yeah, good afternoon, and good morning to you, though.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about y'all today?
We're doing good.
Good.
We want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on here today, Sonya.
Oh, no problem, Brad. I'm always excited to talk to the fans and see what they're thinking and what's going on in their worlds.
Awesome. And an interesting fact that I actually read about you is that you are a licensed vocational nurse. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Oh, it's not? Okay.
That's not true. Something wound up in Wikipedia. I don't know how that got there. I think somebody misunderstood. I trained as an LVS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't take the license because I had a patient die on me, and I was like, okay. It got real.
When did you realize that you wanted to be a actress?
You know, I strangely enough, I didn't want to be an actress. It kind of just happened. When I was in my junior year, my sophomore year in college, I was taking a class, and the professor heard my voice, and he said, "You need to be an actor with that voice." And I said, "Well, the next time you have a black play, I'll audition for it." I didn't know that there was a black play coming up that next year. And so I had to, as a woman of my word, I had to keep my word. I auditioned for it. He cast me in the show, and the next thing I knew, people were telling me, "You need to be an actress. You're a natural actor." And I was like, wow, okay. And I still didn't want to do it, and my mom and my dad were the ones that talked me into it.
Wow, well, I'll tell you what, you truly got a calling for it because you're phenomenal on General Hospital. I mean, you're a fan favorite, and the fans love you. I mean, I love you on there as the head nurse, and I mean, how does it feel? I got to ask you though, how does it feel for you to be the one that took over for Audrey after she left on there, and to be actually known as the head nurse of General Hospital, a long-reigning soap opera like it is?
I grew up watching the show, so it was absolutely surreal. It didn't dawn on me that I was the head nurse until about 4 months into the job. And it was just I was gobsmacked. I was flabbergasted. I was like, wow, how did this happen?
That's amazing.
Port Charles,
That is absolutely amazing.
So, yeah, it's been one of those dreams you didn't know that you had, and it came true.
Wow. Well, so I'll tell you what, speaking of fans, we got some fans on the switchboard right now. I'm gonna bring the first fan on right now. Area code 706. You're on the air with Sonya Eddy.
Hello.
Hi, Sonya. This is Phyllis. I'm calling from Thomaston, Georgia. And I just want to say, I've been watching the show for 45 years. I grew up watching it with my mother, and I absolutely love it. I love your character on the show. It just wouldn't be the same without you.
Oh, girl, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I really do.
Have you ever done any other soap operas or movies?
Yeah, when I first came to LA, I did Y&R. I played a prisoner for a couple of episodes.
Ah, okay.
And that was. I thought that Y&R moved fast, but General Hospital was a whole nother creature.
How long have you been on General Hospital?
10 years. I just realized that when Jason left. It's gone by so fast. It seems brand new every day I go in because I love the job so much that it doesn't ever get old for me.
Right.
So 10 years happened in the blink of an eye, man. It's like, how did that happen?
I'm so happy to see you're the one that's handling Sonny's physical therapy. I know if anybody can get him out of that wheelchair, it would be you.
Honey, I was so tickled when they said, they came to me and told me this was going to happen. I was like, whoa. Well, all right, there's a pairing that you would have never thought of.
Really? Another thing, and I know I'm not alone on this, that you have a lot of fans that would love to see you and Milo get married. That would be awesome.
So would Epiphany. Honey, Epiphany and that young man, my goodness.
Well, we want to thank you so much for calling in to the show, and we'll hope you'll call again.
Okay, I just want to say one more thing. Sonya, I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas to
Thank
you.
you.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Thank you. You have a blessed day.
You too, honey.
Bye-bye.
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 You Southerners are pulling the Arkansas out of me today. I can hear it in my voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you got a question, call in at 773. I'm not sure what that beeping noise just was, but call in at 773-897-6289 and press 1 to be in the host's view, and we'll get you on to talk to Sonya. Speaking of fans, we got another fan we're going to take real quick, Sonya, because they've got a question for you too. Okay, area code 916. Right. You're on there with Sonya Eddy.
Good morning.
Hello.
Sonya?
Is this who I think it is?
Well, hang on just a second. Let me look in the mirror. Yep,
yes,
it's
it is.
me, all right. Hello, love. How you doing?
I'm good, baby. How are you doing? It's so wonderful to hear your voice.
Well, yeah, no, when we haven't talked in donkey's years, so to speak, I actually have a question for you. It's rather because I'm thrilled to death to see them starting to, have you on the show a little bit more frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that continues. But what I was wondering is, in the midst of all of the shows itself, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, all of them seem to be getting better. The 4 of them are still hanging on. Do you think that it may have finally turned around, that people have really started saying, we're kind of tired of the reality TV claptrap, and well-written, well-produced, well-performed entertainment is really where it's at? Do you see that beginning to turn around a bit out there in your world?
It's really hard to gauge that because, I'm inside of it. So it's hard for me to tell what's going on out there. I think that people, like you said, people are getting a little tired of, watching people slap each other and beat each other up and talk bad about each other. And, sometimes, the whole thing about soaps is that you go watch a soap to get lost in the world.
Right.
In a whole other world. It takes you away from yours for a minute and, and enjoy your time with those people that you get an opportunity to know. It's not there are very few other mediums like a soap that you can get so involved in the character's life. And
you become very comfortable with them.
Yeah, it requires you to get invested as an audience member. And then now that you have a vested interest, that makes you keep coming back and back and back. And I think that, the people who are making the decisions are realizing, with shows like Empire and Power, that people really want to be invested in what they watch.
Right.
It's not just about a half-hour setup and the problems resolved within that time frame. So, I think that those nighttime soaps have only helped the daytime. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. So that's my little bit of opinion about it.
And I sure as heck hope one of these days they think to. I would love to see them revive Night Shift.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. And
that show
I thought we
was
had a great
killer.
audience.
Yeah. That would It's time they do something in the primetime world and get GH, back into the nighttime for a little bit. I think they should absolutely consider that.
Yeah, because I think we did pretty well. I think
we
did
held very well. Yes, and the production values were incredible. I got the DVD of season 1, just unbelievable. What they did with it, it was almost like it was a not even primetime telly. It was almost like a full feature film every week.
Well, we worked very hard to bring that to you guys, so we were just as invested as anybody else. So, and we were very happy that there was such a loving audience ready to embrace it.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to hold you too much longer. I'm sure that there's a ton of folks in the queue. Just wanted to thank the hosts of the show. You guys do an awesome job, and thank you so much for having Sonya on the air today.
You, and you're very welcome. I hope you'll call back in sometime.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, my love. It was wonderful hearing your voice and talking to you. You take care.
All right, love.
Kisses.
I gotta ask you something. They're talking about General Hospital Night Shift. Something I wanted to ask you: what was the difference for you? Do you feel between General Hospital and General Hospital Night Shift? I mean, I know on Night Shift that y'all could kind of go a little bit more on the boundaries than you can in daytime, but I mean, besides that, what was the difference to you between the two shows?
It seemed that we were able to get a little more involved in the characters' lives. It was a little more in touch with what was really happening out there, in the real world. I loved the episode that we had dealing with racism. That was a lot of intensity. And you don't see that. You can't really get into that with the hooks that we did on the nighttime version of GH.
Right. Okay.
So we were able to dig deeper in some things.
Speaking of that, the gloves are kind of off a little bit more during the primetime hours. Like you said, you covered the racism storyline. So you guys get a little bit more freedom on primetime, Sonya?
I think that the reins are a little loose because you don't have to worry about children watching.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, well, most kids are in bed or doing homework and they're not in front of the television, so we could talk about things like racism and sex addiction and dealing with our elder parents getting sick and passing away. The storylines that we handled for the 2 years that we were on Night Shift that we had it. So the gloves are a little loose, and the storylines can get a little more broad and a little more intense.
Awesome. You were talking a few minutes ago about Jason Thompson, and I wanted to actually ask you, what are your thoughts on Jason Thompson, who plays Patrick, or as you call him on the show, which I love this, Drake Jr., leaving General Hospital? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, on a personal side, I was sad because he's a fantastic scene partner. We always had fun and we had a connection that I think that people could actually feel our real friendship between real friendship between Sonya and Jason transferred to the relationship between Patrick and Epiphany. And you could really feel the caring that they each had for the other. And so, as for my personal reasons, I'm going to miss that, being able to do that with him. I think Epiphany connects with everyone, but she really had. It was almost like a mother-son kind of thing with Jason. For him, I'm excited for him, and I can't wait to see what this new chapter is going to bring for him. I absolutely understand that he's ready to do something new and different. I mean, 10 years doing something, that's a long time.
Yeah, it really is.
And you give it all you got and you wring it out and then you move on to the next thing. And I think that it was a perfect time for him to move to the next adventure. And all I can say is, you go, boy. I'm very proud of him, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen for him over at YNR.
I remember so many times on General Hospital when either y'all would be sitting in the hospital and having a chat, and either he would be crying or you would be crying, and y'all would be comforting each other. So I can really see the father and the mother and son connection y'all had, not only as a friendship, but I can kind of see the mother and son connection. And speaking of that, my co-host Jason got a question to ask you about your son on General Hospital.
Go ahead.
So I was just wondering if what you felt when Kiko Ellsworth, your son, was killed off the show. What was that like for you?
That was devastating. I was, again, I understand an actor that is ready to move on to something else, but I had gotten I had literally fallen in love with Kiko. And I would like to think that if I had a son, he'd be as spirited as Stan was. And
that's awesome.
We had I think that we had a really close friendship, and I think that you guys got to see an honest portrayal of a mother and son relationship, because he was doing something that she didn't approve of, and they butted heads, but there was still love and respect there. And it was just when he left, it kind of left a little bit of a hole for me as an actor and as a person. It's just like I would imagine it'd be just like if my real son moved away from home.
Yeah, I can imagine the type of bond you get on set with certain people.
Yeah, because you're working. I mean, when you're acting, you're not. At least me, I'm not pretending. I'm really going through those emotions, and when you are opening yourself up like that with someone and sharing that with someone, you can't help but get close to them. They're seeing a part of you that not a whole lot of people see. I mean, okay, yeah, y'all got to see it on the screen, but being in it, while we were shooting it for you, was an experience as well. It's just it's an intensely personal thing that we do.
Speaking of bonding, I have to ask you this: what is, because I know that y'all have got to have such a great friendship. Who you work with, who's Mark Samuel, who plays Felix, and Rebecca Hurst, who plays Liz. What kind of bond do y'all have? I mean, because I can tell even Teresa that plays Sabrina, I can tell y'all have such a chemistry and such a friendship on screen. So, is that would that friendship be similar to what you have with Jason Thompson?
Oh my goodness, yes. I spend time with Mark, outside, in real life. We go out to lunch and we hang out all the time. Becky lives kind of far away from where we do, so I don't get to spend a whole lot of time with her. But when I do, I'm just incredibly happy to see her. And Teresa, likewise, I mean, she's got the new baby. Well, I haven't seen the I don't know. No, she hasn't had the new child yet. But it was just wonderful to see her go through the pregnancy, and it's just fascinating, especially as a person that doesn't have kids. to watch somebody go through that, and they're your friend. It's like, whoa.
Wow.
You feel like we're blessed in it.
That is so cool. Something that I wanted to ask you that maybe you could clear up for me, and I know you're allowed to discuss this part. Okay, Olivia and Julian, I know they have baby Leo. Isn't that her real life baby?
You know what? I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. Because I have not been there when they shot those scenes.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. And as a fan, that was a question I was going to ask her when I saw her. But I was just so excited to see her because I don't get to see her very often. Just the question flew out of my head.
Wow. Well, you'll have to ask her that and tweet that to me, and see if that's her real life baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask her that. It was something I was thinking, and like I said, I just get excited when I see Miss Lisa because she and I have a ball together. We're always laughing and teasing each other. So when you see a friend that you just love, you just forget about everything else. You just want to spend time with them.
Oh yeah, and also Georgie. Now she's actually Kristen Storms and Brandon Burrash's little girl, isn't it? The one that plays Spinelli and Ellie's daughter, or Spinelli and Max's daughter.
I don't know. Because I'm not there. These are storylines that are being shot when I'm not around, so I don't know.
Okay.
That's another question again with Kirsten. Sorry, Kirsten. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is about Kirsten, but all I want to do is touch her when I see her. So, when I see her, I just wear I don't want to talk. It's like a little cutesy dog.
I know Brian is very disappointed. He's been looking forward to clearing that up and asking you those questions.
I'm so sorry. I wish I could answer.
That's okay.
But some of the, you've played on some of the iconic television shows like Harriet on ER, Malcolm in the Middle, Martin, Drew Carey, even a couple of iconic movies, maybe like Red Iron Gang, 7 Pounds. How is it working on an iconic show or a big movie production?
When you're doing it, you don't realize what it is. You're going to work and you're doing your thing, and you pray that you get along with everybody that you're working with. And what I can tell you is that each and every one of those experiences was amazing and fun, and people are great. So Will Smith is an angel. He's just an absolute angel to work with. He's an absolute angel as an individual. He's funny as all get out.
Yeah.
And working with Drew Carey was a lot of fun. When you're working with a comedian, you're gonna laugh all damn day. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I bet it's so much fun. I can just only imagine.
Yeah, when I did Seinfeld, from the moment that you hit the set to the moment you leave, you're laughing. And those shows, I remember leaving the set and my stomach was going. I was trying to figure out why was my stomach like you've been laughing for me now.
That's great. That is great. Another show. I grew up watching Boy Meets World. And, Fred Savage and Danielle Fishel. I was just wondering how it was like working on Girl Meets World.
Again, I'm going to sound like I never have any bad experience, but I don't. Fred Savage, he is funny, he is intense, and that man comes to work ready to handle his business. And the two little girls that they have were just absolute sweethearts, and just so much talent at such a young Danielle, she's just classy.
Yeah, and like you said, the girls on the show are very talented young actresses. They've got a definite future ahead of them.
Yes, they do. The blonde one, whose name is failing me right now, she's a singer, and she's got a voice like an angel.
Is that Rowan Blanchard?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Something I was wondering. Do y'all hear the echo on your phone?
Say that again?
Do y'all hear an echo on y'all's phone? Y'all hear everybody echoing?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I hear that too. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't either. I was just wondering if that was just me or if that was y'all too. Okay.
No,
we have some technical difficulties, Brian.
Yeah, apparently so. Blog Talk is very weird sometimes. One thing I wanted to know, and I don't know if you've ever thought about this, Sonya, but have you ever had your character of Epiphany compared to Ross from Night Court because of the similarities of how they love others but are not afraid to tell them like it is?
You are the first person that said that to me.
Oh wow!
But I can see the correlation. Yeah. And I'm laughing because that's one of my favorite characters.
Oh wow!
I used to love me some Night Court, boy.
Yeah, I did too.
Me too.
I love Night Court. We're gonna try and go a little bit over, about 14 minutes over. See, Blog Talk at the 30-minute mark, sometimes it cuts us off. So if it cuts us off, we didn't do it. Blog Talk did. But we're gonna try to go a little bit over. So we're just gonna cross our fingers and hope it'll let us go over. But I wanted to ask you, what's it like for you being known or on the show dating Milo? What's that like for you?
It's interesting. People have let me speak English. When the story first started, there was a wide range of reactions. And, there was a section of people who just couldn't, get with it. They just couldn't see how Milo would date Epiphany. And I had to really sit back because I was a little bit taken aback by some of the reactions. And, because in my world, the men that I date look like that. So it wasn't weird to me. And to hear people or to read people who were saying this would never happen in the real world, I had to, I wanted to come out the box and say, well, I don't know what world you're living in, but in my world, that's what they look like.
I like that.
Before I went bananas on some people and realized that might not be some people's experience. But what I loved about it was that GH was making, whether they were aware of it or not, they were making a statement that love comes in various forms. And you don't know who you're going to love. You don't fall in love necessarily with the package. The package can be a pleasant thing, but it's what's inside the package that really matters.
Yes, that's true.
And,
that's true.
I think that Epiphany and Milo are two people who found each other because they were the same kind of person. Epiphany doesn't show it often, but she's got a loving heart. And, just like anybody else, she was out there looking for love. And she doesn't get as many opportunities because she's an older black woman of a certain physical size. It wasn't really, coming her way. So I can relate with people who might have felt that. But again, love wins.
Well, speaking of that, I remember back to GH Night Shift, and it kind of crossed over into General Hospital too. Whenever you dated Billy D. Williams, I believe.
Billy D.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
That was amazing. I grew up watching, Lady Sings the Blues, Mahogany, the films where he, that we got to know Billy D. And here I am, 30 years later, in a scene as having him as my love interest. And not only that, we had chemistry. And it was like, wow!
I know that's an amazing feeling.
That was a 12-year-old's dream come true, okay?
So you were there and you looked and you thought, okay, inside I'm a 12-year-old, but on the outside, I'm older, but I feel like a kid.
Honey, I was losing my mind every day.
Brian, it appears like they gave her the keys to Toys R Us and let her run around and pick up anything she wanted to when you're 7 years old on a Sunday morning, is what it seemed like.
Okay,
yeah.
That is right. Show, as they say, show nuts.
I loved your singing performance at the Nurses Ball in 2013. And I know you've done more. I know you've done a lot more performances at the Nurses Ball the past few years. But whenever you were with Monica and Tracy, I loved your singing performance. And what I wanted to ask you was, you have such a great voice for singing and stuff. What I wanted to ask you, is there any chance of you possibly releasing a music CD?
I've been thinking about that, and I'm talking to some people, and I'm seeing what I can try to put together. My friend Jen Lilly, who played Maxie for a little while, and she just put out a Christmas album, and so I'm going to talk to her and see how she managed to do that, and let's see what happens, because that's something I would love to do.
Putting out a Christmas album maybe to see how it goes. That seems like
that's how you
that'll
test
be
the water.
Right. That sounds great.
Let's see what 2016 brings us.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a great year.
Honey.
Question I wanted to ask you. I saw a picture the other day of you and Seamus Dever, who played Ian Devlin on General Hospital. Is there any chance that we can see Sonya Eddy guest star on Castle?
Look, I'm a big fan of Castle, and when I got the opportunity to work on the show, I tried not to act starstruck. When Nathan Fillion walked in the room, I just sat there with my mouth hanging open.
That's great. You still feel that way. I love that.
I mean, there's still people. They're not people in my world every day, So I'm just like anybody else. When I see a star, I lose my mind.
That's great. That is great, Sonya. That is awesome.
So to get the opportunity to work with these people that you watch every day, or every week they come into your home over the airwaves is an amazing gift. And then to get to know them, I found out that Nathan is absolutely charming. He's an absolute sweetheart, and he's a geek, just like me. So it's like, wow, okay.
That's the same thing. You've been working on General Hospital for 10 years. The fans out there have bonded with Nurse Epiphany Johnson. It's like they actually know you after a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, after a while, it's pretty cool to know that, any given day while I'm out, out and about and doing my business and, running errands and whatnot, I can run into someone and I have a friend. because they know Epiphany.
Right.
That's awesome. I must say that I know a caller mentioned this earlier, but I got to say this. I must say that right now I am just loving you in a storyline with Sonny. I mean, helping him rehabilitate himself, and he's always used to being the boss and telling everybody what to do with the mob, and then you walk in there and you say, "Yeah, listen here, Mr. Carissa, you're gonna do this and that," and and that's just so cool to see you and Sonny, or you and Maurice Bernard in a storyline together, and you being the one that helps him get back on his feet and stuff. I think that's so awesome. How is it for you to be in scenes with him? I mean, because I know that he's hilarious and stuff, and I mean, how is that for you?
Well, working with Maurice is a dream. He's one of those actors that makes you raise your game, and I love rising to the challenge that he throws. It's like he's throwing the gauntlet down on when you come to the set with him. It's like either you're going to rise or you're going to look like a fool, and he doesn't care. It's like it's on you if you make it or you don't, and that's fun. I love being challenged like that as an actor, and then Maurice as a person is he's incredibly funny. And I'm sorry that you guys don't really get to see that too often, because the man can take just about anything and make a joke out of it. And he gets this little wicked look in his eye, and you're like, uh-oh.
It's Sonny Calimpos.
So we have a lot of fun when we get to work together. It's been a pleasant surprise. Excuse me. It's been a pleasant surprise for both of us on how well this particular storyline is being received, because we have so much fun doing it for you guys. We are really, when you see us looking at each other, we are having a ball, doing the scene, and so we're hoping that you guys are feeling that when you watch us do our thing.
That is incredible, and you can definitely y'all have such phenomenal actors and actresses on General Hospital, even down to the kids, Spencer and Emma and Cameron and Jake. Y'all have such a phenomenal crew and everything, and you can just feel when y'all were acting on TV, you can feel the chemistry between the different characters and everything, and it's awesome. And I wanted to ask you, Sonya, if you would do a small recording, just saying this is Sonya Eddy, and you're listening to the Wrestling Lounge, so that we can actually play it whenever we have soap opera stars come on.
Okay.
Give me just a second. See.
And we definitely appreciate this, Sonya.
Okay, now.
This is Sonya Eddy, and you are listening to Wrestling Lounge. Okay,
I got it. Thank you so much, Sonya.
No problem, man, and thank you so much for having me on the show. It's been a whole lot of fun.
You're very welcome, and I'll be sure and I'll post a link on Facebook for you, and I'll post it on Twitter so that the fans can go back and listen to the show. And we wish you the best in all you do, and we absolutely love you on General Hospital, and we look forward to seeing you in other stuff as well.
All right, now, thank you so much. Happy holidays and Happy New Year to you all.
You too.
You too.
Take care.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Sonya Eddy, who plays Nurse Epiphany Johnson on General Hospital. We want to thank you today for joining the Wrestling Lounge, and stay tuned to Facebook on the Wrestling Lounge Facebook page. We'll keep you updated on our next show, and follow us on Twitter at Wrestle Lounge. And we'll see you next time on the Wrestle Lounge. So long, everybody.
Blog Talk Radio.